Hi, today we are doing a Kha'Zix matchup tier list. I've been getting a fair few people wanting to know more about matchups and stuff, so I thought this would be a fun way to kind of talk about the various jungle matchups that Kha'Zix has, and how certain champions fare against the big bug boy. So yeah, in addition, I will also give you some tips to help deal with the matchup for some educational value. Who doesn't love that? So yeah, let's hop into the tier maker and get started. Okay, here we are with the tier list. So here's how we're going to structure it, right? We've got the piss tier. This is going to be the absolute worst of the bunch of junglers here. This is going to be the easy matchups, like the ones that Kha'Zix should never be losing ever, and the ones that are like really, really easy and simple to play against. So yeah, that's the piss tier. The annoying tier, these are the champs that are also fairly easy, but they are just annoying to play against. Like they are just simply annoying. Like they have some stupid ability or something that can get in the way of Kha'Zix, and that is where they're going to be. They're going to be in the annoying tier though. So that's going to be like a lot of CC champions, stuff like that. Okay, the hard tier is these are for the champions that are basically threats to Kha'Zix. Like they will shit on Kha'Zix if you don't respect them, and so these are the champions that you are going to have to respect in game in order to find success with Kha'Zix. The very hard tier is the harder matchups. Like these are the very, very difficult matchups that are not necessarily unplayable, but they make Kha'Zix's life very, very hard in the jungle. So yeah, this is going to be for a lot of the more difficult matchups that you really, really need to pay attention to. And last but not least, we have the pain tier, which is just the absolute worst piece of shit champions that you can possibly play against. If you play against these champions, you just send like just go next. Like you can, these champs are the worst ever. And well, yeah, that's it. All right, so I'm gonna get started. So right, I guess we'll just go alphabetically, right? So right from the beginning, we've got a Moomoo. A Moomoo is, he's either annoying or he's piss tier. Reason I put him in piss tier is because he's like really, really simple to kill and play against, but he but I also want to put him in annoying because he's very, very CC heavy. So he's got very easy CC abilities. But even said, like, I think this champion is just pretty much garbage. You can like play around him very easily. His CC is not so bad compared to other champs. So I'm gonna put him in piss tier because he's just like, you should never really lose against a Moomoo ever. He's a very, very easy champion to play around, and you know, with his telegraph CC abilities, it's really not hard. You should not be losing against a Moomoo. To play against this champ, you just kill him. Like, that's it. A Moomoo can never fight you, really. Eclipse is good against him, and all the Conqueror shit, the Bruiser stuff, you know, great against tanks. But yeah, you should be fine regardless. Brand, you don't really see this champ anymore, so I'm just gonna put him in piss tier, like, and I'll put him in annoying. He is annoying, but he's very, very easy, okay? You just jump on him and dodge his stun. That is it. That is it. But if you get hit by the stun, you will die, most of the time. That's about it for the Brand matchup. Camille, we don't really see this champ anymore. Cho'Gath, no. I'm not going to include these two. Darius is piss tier in the jungle. Never ever lose to this champ, ever. Once you hit 6. But that's a different story for top lane. Just try not to get hit by the Q heal, and you should be good to go. Diana. Alright, Diana is a tricky one. I'm going to put Diana in very hard because... Okay, here's the thing with Diana. She clears way faster than you. She has AoE clearing as well, so that, yeah, she just clears like 100 times faster than you. And because of that, she is almost always, like, if you're going even, she is almost always going to be stronger than you because of a farm lead. And Diana herself is very, very beefy. Like, she's got a lot of tankiness going. She's got a shield. She builds health items. I'm sorry if you can hear that playing in the background. But yeah, this champ is very, very hard because it's so... There's not many avenues to outplay her. Like, if she R's you, you're gonna have to jump out or risk dying. Like, her R is It really, really needs to be respected. And her Zhonya's, of course, is very, very hard to play against. So, yeah, that's why I'm putting her in very hard. There's just not too much counterplay to her, aside from kiting away from her, which makes it very hard to kill her in turn. But yeah, that's the Diana matchup. To play against this matchup, I would say you absolutely need to keep up with your farm non-stop, like non-stop, constantly farm. It's really, really important. And I think Bruiser builds work much better into her. So Conqueror is very good into her, Eclipse is very good, you know, all that stuff. If you go fully Thoughty, you can play against her if you get a lead, but you're going to have a much harder time versus a Diana if you are behind, so keep that in mind. Dr. Mundo, yeah, we don't see this champ anymore. He's pissed. Does not threaten Kha'Zix in any way. No trouble there. Echo, I am also going to put Echo in very hard because from my experience playing with this matchup, Echo is almost a good Echo is almost unkillable. He has about the same amount of damage and burst as a Kha'Zix and clear speed, except that he has AoE, so he scales pretty damn nicely. He has a get out of jail free card. He can just press R and revert back, restore all his health. He uses Zhonya's. He's in general just extremely slippery and hard to play against for Kha'Zix, in my opinion. So definitely one of those matchups that is really, really difficult in my opinion. But it is playable, of course, and he does have a few ways to outplay him. Like you can dodge the stun, you can dodge the R, you can kind of outplay him with stealth quite a bit. So yeah, definitely a matchup that needs to be respected. To play against this champ, you basically just need to try and get a lead over him. I think Kha'Zix does clear faster than him later on, and Kha'Zix can fight an Echo very easily. Just make sure to dodge his stun and dodge the ultimate. But other than that, like you will 1v1 him. The problem is that in team fights and stuff, he will chunk you down if he jumps on you, and then he can just get out for free. So try not to take the bait from Echo, because he's always gonna go in and then just ult back. Like just be very careful of that. Oh man, this is another one. Elise, I'm gonna put very hard. So a very, 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 in my opinion, very difficult matchup. Although, if she does not manage to do anything in the early game, Kha'Zix will just straight up win the matchup and probably the game. But yeah, Elise is very difficult because obviously if you jump on her, she can instantly cocoon you and burst you down very, very, very quickly. So Elise is definitely a threat with her very threatening CC and her huge burst. And on top of that, to make matters worse, she has invulnerability and she stops isolation with her spiders. So there's a lot of things going for Elise when it comes to playing against the Kha'Zix. And it's very, very hard to match an Elise early game. So what you need to do against Elise is you need to either match her early game, which is very, very difficult if you don't have strong lanes. So if you don't have strong lanes, don't even bother matching Elise. Just try and ping her out in the jungle. That's the best you can do. But otherwise, if you do have strong lanes, go for the match. Try track where she is and counter gank. That is the best thing you can do against an Elise, because she's very, very, very aggressive early game. Other than that, once you hit 6, you can start farming a lot more, and you'll eventually gain a very big farm lead over her most of the time, provided you're farming properly, and then you can proceed to kind of kill her in the mid game. That's kind of how the Elise matchup works. I hope that helps. Okay, Evelynn. Okay, I'll put Evelynn in annoying tier. This is because Evelynn is she's one of those champs where you will die if you're out of position a lot, but she is very, very simple to play against. And yeah, I don't know, there's not much to say about Evelynn. Like, she's good at, you know, getting one kill and then getting out. Once she doesn't have R, you have full control over her. She is not hard whatsoever. You just jump on her and kill her. And Evelynn without her R is almost no threat at all to a Kha'Zix unless she is crazy, crazy fed. But for the most part, buying Edge of Night is very good against her, because Evelynn needs to land a lot of her spells to successfully kill someone. So Edge of Night is great. Hex Drinker and more are very good against Evelynn. And overall, just buying defensive items against Evelynn will make it a lot easier for you to deal with her. So I'm only putting her in annoying because she has permanent stealth or camouflage, and she is extremely hard to track. So then, because of that, she can get a lot of kills very easily in the early game, which can make it hard. But other than that, like, she's a fairly easy matchup. Okay, Fiddlesticks is a very hard matchup. Where the hell did he go? Okay, here he is. So Fiddlesticks just is AIDS, and he and he got buffed recently. So yeah, you have to respect the Fog of War when you play into Fiddlesticks, which means it's very hard to walk up and gain pressure on the map. And you have to respect his fear and silence. If you get feared and silenced on the spot and his team's around, you're going to die. And you can't walk into his R either. Overall, this champ is very, very hard. He has good AoE clearing as well. And yeah, just the champ. It's a simple, it's a simple champ, but he has so much going for him that you just have to respect every single aspect of his kit. And that's what makes the Fiddlesticks matchup so hard. Especially the fact that you need to respect the Fog of War. So overall, to play against this champ, like, you just need to respect. That's it, man. Respect the fog, respect vision. Yeah, the vision game is really important with Fiddlesticks. Okay, Gragas is annoying. He's annoying too. He's not particularly hard to play against unless he is really, really fed, which is not really a common occurrence in my experience. But Gragas is like, I mean, he's just this fat guy who body slams you all the time. So it's super annoying, man. Like, what is it? This champ is just annoying as heck. I don't know what to say. But all that being said, he is fairly simple to play against. You can build defensive items against him. That helps a lot. You know, in general, you should win every fight against him for the most part. The only issue is that he is very hard to kill because of his annoying CC. Like, he can body slam you and then, like, knock you back with his ulti and stuff. Like, he's very CC heavy. That's what makes him annoying. But other than that, simple matchup. Graves. I'm going to put him in hard because... well, actually, I don't know. It's between annoying and hard. But I think I'm going to put him in hard because Graves is just broken in general. Like, the champ is ridiculous. But he's actually not too hard for Kha'Zix. All you really need to do against the Graves is to jump on him and, you know, just get the first jump. Like, that's it. You just jump on him, you EQ, and make sure he can't dash into you with his dash, which gives him bonus armor. So if he gets that armor, you're gonna have a much harder time against him, because he does a lot of damage. I think there's a lot of lethality Graves builds going around right now, so he does a lot of damage. So you need to be very careful of him, but so long as you get the jump on him, you should be completely fine. Other than that, still needs to be respected for the most part. Gwen is pissed here. The champ is... I just don't think this champ is very good in the jungle. She's an auto attack based champ, and Kha'Zix... I mean, she doesn't really do too much damage early. Kha'Zix has no trouble against Gwen whatsoever. I'm not even going to talk about this matchup. It's just jump on and kill her. Like, that's it. Hecarim is very hard. Hecarim is just... oh, like, he's disgusting, man. If a Hecarim manages to get fed early, good luck, because you're probably not winning that game. Hecarim needs to be respected entirely. You need to make sure you are trying to ping out the Hecarim early game and potentially match him and counter gank, you know, early pressure, all that stuff. Like, Hecarim, when he gets fed, is an absolute monster. You need to make sure that you kind of stop that snowball in some way. And he's very hard to duel with lethality builds. So I would say, if you're playing against the Hecarim, it's a very good idea to go Conqueror and Eclipse or Gorgenka. One of those two, very, very important, because this champ is a monster when he gets fed, and it's so easy to get fed on him because he clears fast, he is fast, and his ganks are really, really good. So overall, extremely, extremely hard champion, in my opinion. But not so much that he's just absolute pain. I think he's still playable in some cases. Okay, here is our first just pain tier. This is the first pain tier. Ivern. Ivern is, wow, man, just go next. Oh man, I can't stand this champ. I think it's fairly obvious why this champ is ridiculous. Shields on shields on shields on shields on shields. Like, this champ will stop you from killing anyone ever. Unless he has a shit team. That is it. He's just pain. You will probably not be able to assassinate when you play against an Ivern. He has solid CC abilities, and he's got shields up the bum. So, yeah, enough said. Enough said. Absolute pain. When you play against Ivern, you're in for a hell of a ride. Like, man. Just go next. But yeah. I don't really know how you'd play against the Ivern, to be honest. Like, you could run just run Serpent's Fang and some shit, like, run more utility builds, legit. You're probably gonna have to go W-Evolve and, like, R-Evolve and stuff, and just disable his shields and stuff like that. That's it, man. Jarvan is a hard tier, so he's definitely a threat. He's definitely a threat to Kha'Zix. He can invade you as well, and it's very, very, very bad when a Jarvan invades you. So you need to make sure you respect his early game, because Kha'Zix does not really win against Jarvan early game unless he has Conqueror. So this is mostly a Conqueror matchup. For the most part, you don't have to go Conqueror into him, but if you don't go Conqueror, you need to hard prepare for invades, because this champ is very, very hard to play against early game without Conqueror. But otherwise, you hit 6 and you can 1v1 him. Not really a huge issue there, but he does have a lot of damage, and he's very, very tanky once he gets the Gore Drinker and, you know, Death Stance and stuff. Very, very hard in that regard, but otherwise, like, he's fairly straightforward champ. That's why he's only in the hard tier. All you really need to do against this champ, try to dodge the EQ if you can. You can run Eclipse into him, it's great. Fantastic against Jarvan. But otherwise, like, yeah, he's fairly straightforward to play against. Just make sure you respect his damage and his EQ knock-up combo. That is very important. For Jax, honestly, Jax pissed here. He's an auto-attack based champion. He does have a stun. It's not a huge deal. He's just, in general, not the greatest jungler right now. I'm not going to touch too much on him. Dodge his stun and you're fine. That's basically it. And obviously, the bruiser type, fighter type builds work better into him. Okay, Karthus is pain tier. I don't really think I need to touch much on this, other than that this champ clears in 3 minutes. Sub 3 minutes. That should say enough. Like, this champ clears, he full clears before 3 minutes. What more do you want? Like, it's crazy, crazy hard to play against Karthus. And for that reason, he's in the pain tier. And, you know, just in general, like, very hard to deal with a Karthus late game with his ultimate. That being said, he's very easy to kill early game. So the way to play against this matchup is to punish him early. That can be hard if he has a strong team, but you need to try, because Karthus, if he manages to full clear without getting punished and he grabs kills early, he's going to be a monster. Me, personally, I build Zhonya's against this champ. It's literally unbearable for me. Oh man, oh man. Karthus is just pain if you don't have some sort of defense to survive the ultimate. But yeah, other than that, he is killable. He is killable, and that is his weakness. So yeah, make sure you punish him early. Be quite aggressive against him early game. You need to. Okay, Kayn is a hard matchup. Where is he? Kayn is hard, mostly because Kayn is a very fast clearer, and he is fairly slippery too. So he has a lot of good traits about him for an assassin, and he can both of his forms are very, very threatening to Kha'Zix. So obviously blue Kayn will completely one-shot you out of the blue. I don't really think there's anything you can do against a fed blue Kayn, I'm not gonna lie, but you can disengage from him. That is mostly all you can do against blue Kayn. So he is fairly playable. It's just that I I think it's mostly a skill matchup. If you get ahead of the Kayn, like, you're going to be fine. But if you don't, he's going to shit all over you. So you need to respect him for sure. He's very easy to fight early. Kha'Zix has no problem when he doesn't have a form. And yeah, overall, like, just he's fairly simple to play against. But yeah, for Ras is very also very telegraphed. You just need to dodge his W and you're fine. Obviously, he's going to ult you, so he is fairly hard to kill. But overall, like, there's no real outstanding issue with Kayn. It's just that you need to play well against him and stick to the fundamentals of Kha'Zix, which I've mentioned in my guide before if you've seen. If you haven't, go check it out. It's really good. Kha'Zix, you should win if you're a mirror. Show them who's the better Kha'Zix, you know? That's how it is. That is how it is. Okay, Kindred, I'm going to put hard. This is because Kindred can cheese you early. And if you get cheesed by Kindred early, it makes the matchup a lot harder. And she scales really well. Kindred is a very good champ if she manages to get into the mid game and scale with the item. She does a lot of damage. And her ultimate in particular is the one that makes this a hard matchup. So her ulti is very threatening to Kha'Zix. It stops resets, it stops picks, it stops a lot of things, and you need to respect it because it is very powerful. That being said, when the ultimate is down, you need to hard pressure the Kindred because Kha'Zix absolutely destroys Kindred matchups in every scenario. Like, every scenario without her ultimate. For the most part, unless she's like really fed. But yeah, when she doesn't have her R, you need to hard pressure her by all means. Like, she is very easy to kill without her R, especially when you're level 6. Okay, Lee Sin is a very hard matchup. Lee Sin has a lot of revealing abilities. So he's got his Q and his E, which reveal Kha'Zix, and he has a CC knockback that can be very deadly when he combines his other abilities with it. So yeah, if you're playing Lethality and Assassin Kha'Zix, Lee Sin will basically just one-shot you if you don't play it right. You need to get the jump on him. You cannot let Lee Sin jump on you because he will win 100% of the time, almost, unless he's a bad Lee Sin. Bad Lee Sins are not threatening at all, by the way, but it's the good ones that are very hard to play against. Lee Sin has a lot of good pressure early game. His ganks are good. His damage is great. His mobility is through the roof. Need to make sure you respect that Q ability. If you dodge the Q on Lee Sin, it becomes a much easier matchup for sure. But that being said, it's still a fairly hard matchup, even if he does miss his Q, which is a bit of a shame. But yeah, Gorgenka works good into him. Eclipse works good into him. But it's fine to go Lethality into a Lee Sin, but you just really need to respect that Q. It's super deadly. But yeah, make sure to keep that in mind. Lillia is pissed here. Lillia is no problem at all. I think this champ is really bad. I love Lillia so much. I love playing her, but she's really... I just think she's so underwhelming in the jungle right now. I think the rework basically killed the champ. And it's super hard to play Lillia in a lot of team comps nowadays. That being said, with Kha'Zix, no issue whatsoever. Jump on her. Prowler's Claw is a great option against Lillia. So take Prowler's Claw and just jump on her and kill her. No issue there at all. Malphite, huh? He's not jungler. Master Yi is pissed here. Very easy. Heavily Kha'Zix favored. Just kill him, man. Just kill him. Use your R to block his auto attacks. Like, yeah, that's it. Like, you just use your ultimate to avoid his auto attacks and you're fine. Just kill him. He's easy. Completely easy. No issue. Should be no issue. Just jump on him, kill him. Simple champ. No, this is not Master Yi. Morgana. Easy. Enough said. No comment. Nautilus, that's not a jungler. Nidalee. Okay, Nidalee is either hard or very hard. So I'm gonna put her... I'm gonna put her in hard, because Nidalee it's not the greatest champ out there, but Nidalee has a lot of early game pressure. If a Nidalee gets fed early and snowballs lanes, you will lose the game. Because she will get an early Zhonya's and just one-shot you. And also her Q and trap reveals you, gotta be careful of that. If you get hit by a spear, it's a lot of trouble for you, especially if it's max range. So dodge the spear and jump on her first, you should have no problem. But be very, very careful of her early game because it's very strong and it can completely take over a game. You can straight up just lose the game against Nidalee at level 3, so just keep that in mind. Very, very important. You make sure you're safe early game. Nocturne is I put annoying because Nocturne's not hard at all, in my opinion. He's a very auto attack based champion, so Kha'Zix has no real trouble against those types of champs. Yeah, he's just annoying because he's got a fear and he blacks out your screen. So that's about it. Like, you can pretty much avoid the fear completely if you time your R right, so you can actually be invisible throughout the whole fear duration, which is very strong against Nocturne. So that's a good way to play against him. Overall, he's not hard at all. You can build bruiser items against him to make him more manageable. But other than that, you should really have no problem against him. I think he's perfectly fine matchup. Nunu is piss tier. No issue, man. He doesn't really do that much damage, and I mean, half the people that play him are just trolls, so like, yeah, he's no issue, man. There's not too much CC at all, and I mean, his snowball's really easy to dodge. But he can tank up quite a bit. That's about it. Like, you know, I think he's fine, in my opinion. No real issue there. Olaf is, oh man, no, I'm gonna put him piss. Olaf is no issue. He should not be an issue unless he gets like really fed. Olaf is completely, well, for the most part, auto attack based. There should be no issue. Just kite him with Qs. Evolved Q is great, and you know, that's about it. Pantheon, he's annoying. I'm just not really gonna talk much about Pantheon because you don't see him in the jungle at all. Like, rarely see him. He's very, very uncommon, but he's annoying. Poppy is pain. Poppy jungle is absolute pain. Very hard champ. Very, 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 very hard champ. Poppy can beat you 1v1 early game if you're next to a wall. And she's almost impossible to jump on. Yeah, her W will stop you completely. It's almost impossible to jump on a Poppy unless you jump from like Fog of War or something. Very, very, very hard to jump on a Poppy. And she will make assassinating other teammates, other enemies, just absolute hell for you. So, yeah, it's a... Oh, man. Hard matchup, for sure. Just absolute pain. And very hard to play against, in my opinion. Just respect her W, that's about it. You have to rely less on leap when you're playing against her. It's very, very important you do that. Running R Evolve against her is very good. Like R Evolve, RW Evolve builds, those are very good against her, but yeah, other than that, like, she's very annoying. Very, 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 very frustrating champ to play against. Absolute pain. Kiana, I'd put hard. She's got a lot of tools that can screw you over. Permanent stealth, that's fun. A CC ultimate, that does a lot of damage. Yeah, she just has so much damage and utility, it's kind of crazy. So, do not get baited. You kind of have to jump on Kiana when she has already used all her abilities. Other than that, like, taking Edge of Night against her is very good. And she is killable. That's the good thing. And yeah, like, I don't know, I really, really recommend I really recommend Edge of Night against Kiana. It's very important, in my opinion. But yeah, it's a fairly straightforward matchup, nonetheless. Okay, Rammus is annoying. He is fairly tanky with his W, and he has solid CC, and he's pretty fast. So I'm gonna put him in annoying tier. He's not really hard at all. Like, I think that champ is just not very good. Yeah, he's not very hard. Just avoid his CC. Don't be the center of attention with a Rammus in the game, and you're fine. You should be completely fine. RekSai is a hard matchup. You absolutely need to respect Mummy RekSai's knockup. Getting knocked up by RekSai is very bad. A good trick is that you can, like with Nocturne, you can kind of R through the knockup, which is very, very handy against this matchup. And obviously she's auto attack based for the most part, so she can be kited quite nicely. But yeah, overall she has good early game pressure. Make sure to track her early game, very important that she doesn't destroy your lanes. And overall, like, you know, you just gotta respect her knockup. That's about it. Rengar is very hard. This Rengar is almost pain tier right now. But I'm gonna put him in very hard because it is just a feast or famine matchup. Whoever gets the most fed wins, basically. But Rengar has a lot of tools to destroy Kha'Zix after the rework now. His E reveals. So if Rengar jumps on you, just get the fuck out. Like, literally, just get out. You can't fight him. You are revealed the moment he jumps on you, because his E is instant now. You will probably almost always get boulder striked, which is very, very difficult to play against. So if he jumps on you, try and get away. But if you jump on him, it's really not as bad. Full lethality builds are probably the way to go against him. Edge of Night is really good too. Plated Steel Cap's a good defensive option against him. Death Stance is solid too. Yeah, overall, defensive options help a lot against Rengar. If you build no defensive options and a Rengar is fed, have fun. Legit, you're not gonna play the game. It's not gonna be fun. I know, yes, Kha'Zix vs Rengar. Great. Who's the better hunter? Ooh, who's the better predator? Whatever. Rengar is the better predator right now. Okay, I'm telling you that right now. He will always win most of the time if he gets fed. But yeah, Rumble is not really. It's just not really a champion. I don't know. Sejuani is annoying. So Sejuani is. Actually no. I think this is the first tank I'll put in hard tier. Sejuani has a lot of very annoying CC. You need to respect her R. You need to respect her Q. You need to respect her auto attacks. And overall, she's very, very tanky. So this is not a champion that you can really kill, especially when a team is around. You need to kind of wait and peel back with your own team. And yeah, and the reason I'm saying these things is that the main threat of Sejuani is in the mid to late game, where team fights happen. She's best in team fights. She's very, very big threat in team fights. So you need to be careful of all her CC. But yeah, early game is just not really too bad, but you can't really kill her either. So yeah, that's why I'm putting her in hard. Just very, very. I mean, she does a good job as a tank. That's basically it. Set is not a jungler. Shakur is pain. Oh my god. Oh no. I don't like this champ. There are many reasons why Shakur is just an absolute pain tier matchup. Alright, so like this champ stops your isolation with his clone and with his boxes, and if you choose the wrong clone, he will fear you and kill you. And you can almost never kill him when you jump on him, because he will just deceive away, put down his boxes and shit, and ulti and do all that stuff. So it's very hard to kill him. He's kind of like Kiana in the sense that you need to wait until everything is burnt for to actually kill him. Or, you know, you just guess the right clone, which is not too hard, I guess. But overall, painful matchup. Very unfun to play against. Just, you need to respect him and try and ping him out early. Counter gank early if you can, because he's very, very potent early with ganks. But yeah, overall, like, just respect him hard. Hard respect him. Very important. For Shen, oh, this is not a champion in the jungle. Pissed here. Shyvana is very, very good. You need to be able to kind of kite out a Shyvana, especially when you're fighting her. So Shyvana is a very, very actually I'll put her in hard tier, because she is a very, very strong champion right now, but you can play against her fairly easily. She's entirely auto attack based for the most part, aside from her E. AP Shyvana is fairly squishy and is fairly simple to play against, but the recent build that everyone's been going, Demonic Embrace, Frostfire, that's quite hard to play against. Overall, build bruiser items against that build, very important. and you should have no problem. But overall, a terrifying champion, really. Really just a terrifying champion right now, but because she's auto-attack based, Kha'Zix can kite her out with Qs and etc. And she's kiteable. Very, very kiteable, by the way. W-Evolve's very good into her. And just almost every evolution. I don't know, just melee champion. You know, counter her. It's just fine. She's fine for the most part. Sion. Not a jungler. Skarner. Look at this dude. I'm not even gonna... Nah, you're not even worth talking about. I'm sorry, man, but until they rework you, like, no, you are just horrible. I'm sorry. The poor guy. He's just... It's so sad. Rework him already, man. But yeah, not worth talking about. Sylas, you don't see this champ in the jungle that much. Lillia is annoying. Lillia can be very, very threatening when she's ahead, but very easy champ to counter. Actually, I'm going to put her in hard because she has a lot of damage and she can kite you if she plays it right. So yeah, good Lillias are very, very threatening and they need to be respected. But she's squishy. Kha'Zix can jump on her. If you get the first jump on a Lillia, no issues. Like, no issues at all. But because of her jungle pressure and her straight up just a lot of damage, like very respectable damage, I'm going to put her in hard tier. Not much to say about this matchup, just jump on her and kill her, and dodge the knockback. Dodge her W, like that's important, for sure. For Talon, you need to respect. I'm going to put him in hard tier, because he is definitely one of the champs that's like, very... Oh man, like, he's fine for the most part. Until he gets mega fed. Yeah, I would definitely put him in the hard tier because of the fact that he can completely just 100 to 0 to you if you don't play the matchup right. So even I am struggling with the Talon matchup. I will not lie, but you don't really see him too often anymore. I would say to play against this matchup, just make sure to maintain your farm. I would recommend Eclipse lethality builds into him. The Eclipse shield is very useful against Talon, and also Red Smite. So make sure to buy those two items. I think it helps a lot with Talon in my experience. But yeah, overall, it's just a standard assassin matchup, except that Talon has most of the priority against Kha'Zix in the matchup. So it's a good idea to kind of like jump on him when he doesn't have R. When he has R, he's very, very threatening. But if he uses it during a gank or something, make sure to take advantage of that for sure. Okay, Trundle. I'm gonna put Trundle in. He's almost pain tier, not gonna lie. I'm gonna put Trundle in very hard. He's a very hard matchup. He's one of the only auto attack based champions that is extremely difficult to play against. He will almost always beat you in a 1v1 unless you have Eclipse or Conqueror. Eclipse/Conqueror or both. Definitely lethality builds, assassin builds like Duskblade or Prowlers, very hard to play against a Trundle with those builds, man. Very hard. He is such a strong duelist, it's crazy. You need to respect this champion early game for sure. And even when you're 6, man, like, yes, he's an auto attack based champ, so he is playable, but you need to make sure that you're running the right builds against him, because if you don't, you will absolutely just get destroyed. I'm putting him very hard because he's such a strong champ in general, like just super strong. Very, very, very threatening champion for Kha'Zix. And his pillar is very annoying too. Make sure to like jump early or like jump after he uses his pillar, because for obvious reasons. I'm gonna put Udhir in hard. Udhir is kiteable. W evolve's great against him. Yeah, really, you should run W evolve against Udhir. It just hard counters him really. Wait, did I say hard or annoying? I'll put him in annoying. Yeah, I think annoying is fine. You need to run a bruiser build against him. Otherwise, you're not going to deal damage to him if he builds full armor. Like, he's very tanky if he builds armor. And yeah, overall, just Bruiser penetration builds very good against him. W evolve great against him. Overall, just need to kite him. He's very strong early, but with Conqueror, you should be fine. He's an auto attack based champ. Should be no issues 1v1ing him. And yeah, Urgot is not a jungler. Viego is... Recently, I would like to put Viego in hard, but I'm going to put him in annoying. Almost pissed here, I won't lie. Almost pissed. But he's annoying because of his mind control mechanic, or whatever it is, and his W. So a Viego that gets fed can destroy you very quickly, with almost no counterplay. But a Kha'Zix that gets ahead of a Viego is completely fine. There is no issue whatsoever. So very skill-based matchup in my opinion, and I'm putting him in annoying because he's not so pissed here, but he's not so hard tier either. He's just a very solid matchup. Very solid matchup that I would kind of just... I don't know, he's kind of fun to play against, I won't lie. Not when he gets fed, but yeah. To play against him, just dodge his W, and you'll have almost no issue whatsoever. Dodge his W with your R, very good tip. And yeah, just try and like kite away from him. That's basically it. And make sure to try and finish the fight as fast as you can, because like this champ, when he gets his Conqueror, is very strong. When he gets Conqueror up, fully stacked, like, whoa, man, he's tough. But yeah, fun matchup for sure. Vi, I'm putting in hard. I'm putting Vi in hard because she's not that great as a champion. But her R is terrifying for Kha'Zix. And if you get hit by the R, you'll just die in teamfights. Like, that's basically it. You will get CC chained and just die. She has a decent amount of burst too, so yeah, gotta respect that R. It's the main thing that makes this matchup hard. Wait for her to use R on another champion, or take assassination opportunities when the Vi is not around. Very important. You need to respect that R. That is all there is to this matchup. But yeah, overall is manageable for sure. I'm gonna put Volley in hard, because Bruiser builds shit on him. He is a strong duelist, and he has good CC. And if you take too long to kill him, he will just heal up with his W. So yeah, overall he's fairly hard to kill, and he's a strong duelist that can threaten you. So Bruiser builds against him are very good. Lethality builds, not so much unless you're running Eclipse, but yeah, overall auto attack based champ. Like I've been saying, you can just kite them out fairly easily. Warwick, we're down to the last few. Warwick is pain. Yeah, I'm gonna put Warwick in just pain because almost every part of this guy's kit is unplayable. The only chance, the only time Kha'Zix beats a Warwick is when Kha'Zix is level 6 and Warwick is not. That's it. Warwick will destroy you in almost every scenario. He heals a lot, he has damage reduction, and he has CC. So yeah, very hard matchup. To play against this matchup, you need... I don't even know, to be honest, it's so hard. You need to attack him when he doesn't have his E up. Like, that is the only way to kill him. And then you also can't speak English. Simultaneously, you have to dodge his R. His R will just let him heal up to half health or whatever it is, and it'll do a lot of damage to you. So yeah, honestly, man, painful matchup. Painful matchup. Just try not to fight him one-on-one if possible. He is the hardest champ in the game to 1v1 by far. Never mind, Wukong is the hardest champ in the game. No, you actually can't do anything to this champ at all. When you play against a Wukong, you cannot run lethality builds at all. You need to run a Conqueror build with either Eclipse or Gore Drinker. Me personally, I prefer Gore Drinker. Why? Because this champ will not let you deal damage to him. He has 2 knockups, which interrupts the flow of your combo. and he has an invisibility decoy, which will let him get away if he needs to. So you will not be auto-attacking or hitting this champion at all, ever, until he uses those abilities. So this champion is just so hard to play against. You need to run a team-based build, get your team strong so that your team can play around him, because Kha'Zix has, oh man, he really struggles against this matchup. He is fightable early before he gets 6, but he is still a very hard champ. One of my most hated matchups in my opinion, for sure, no doubt about it. But yeah, alternatively we have Xin Zhao, which I think is piss tier. Where did he go? There he is. Alright, piss tier, because he's a very telegraphed auto attack based champion. He's fairly squishy until he gets his items, and overall Kha'Zix has no issue against Xin Zhao. Just try not to get jumped on by him. All you need to do against Xin Zhao is to jump on him and get the first Q off as soon as you can, and then you just kind of destroy him. Like, he's not really that hard. Don't fight him without isolation though. That's about it. Zac, this is the last champion. Can we all guess where this champ is going to go? He is going in the very hard tier. Zac is one of those champs. Yeah, Zac is probably the worst tank to play against. He's kind of similar to Wukong in a way, where he has this really long duration CC ability, that's his R, which prevents you from hitting him at all. Like, you can't really hit him when he's using his R. It's a good idea to go like Eclipse into this champ, but for the most part you shouldn't really be playing for the Zac. You should be playing to target his team, I suppose, because he is an engaged champ and he will be in front of his team for the most part. So yeah, yeah, overall, like, you just need to get away from the Zac. You can't really go next to him because he can slam you together with your allies, and so that is very bad, and he can chain CC you. Overall, just stay away from this champion at all times, and try and find 1v1s in the early game against him, because that's the time where he's like pretty weak. But yeah, overall he's very difficult later on in the game. But yeah, that is the tier list. Oh my god, I don't know how long this took. I think it took, oh yeah, about 50 minutes. I'm sorry if I dragged on with a lot of these matchups, but again, I was trying to give a few tips to play against each of them. I didn't want to just make this like a, oh, okay, I'm putting this here and this there. I wanted to give you some value, because a lot of people have been asking about matchups, and I was like, oh, okay, I think this could be a fun way to do and talk about the matchups. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me guys, hello, I can't speak. Let me know if you have any questions about any of the matchups, and I suppose I'll do my best to answer them in the comments as usual. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time. See ya.